am after so many years, hounded by hatred and trapped by fear. I'm in a box. I've got no place to go. If I follow my mind, I know I'll slaughter my own. Help me, I'm the prisoner. Won't you hear my plea? I need somebody, yeah, to listen to me. I beg you, brothers and sisters, I'm counting on you, yeah. Black babies in the womb, shackled and bound, chained by the caveman who keeps beauty down, smacked on the ass when they're squalling and wet. And to us mindless men who never forgets, never forgets that he's a prisoner. Can't you hear my plea? 'Cause I need somebody, Lord knows, to listen to me. I'm a stranger to my son who wonders why his daddy runs, yeah. Peace and love. Welcome again to the NEPPC podcast. I'm Brother Frank, and I'm with former political prisoner
Abdul Haq Islam.
Today's episode, we focus on how we relate to what's just happening right now with the murder of Jordan Neely and how that relates to what just happened with Ed Poindexter with his leg being amputated. Part of his leg being amputated prior to his family being notified. Both instances, we're looking at the attack on a people's right to self-determination with our beloved brother, Subway Entertainer, aspiring artist, brother Jordan Neely. We are witnessing a brother in the train station to carry out his dreams, to entertain people, and going through whatever he was going in terms of his mental crisis. And we see racist vigilante decide that his life was not valuable enough to respect because he was overly aggressive and did what he thought he could do, regardless of anything. And to this time, he has not been charged, and we have to make that demand for him to be charged. And the same issue is related directly to our political prisoners who are going through medical neglect. Medical neglect is a direct attack on a person's or people's self-determination, and we got to take that very seriously because we're all in together. Because we say that you touch one, you touch all. So when we are looking at both situations, we have to look at it from that perspective, and we got to ask ourselves, if we're not involved, why not? And before I even get into that, for those who are involved, we say Black Power salute to you. Continue that fight. For those of you who are not involved, why not? Why are you complacent? Why are you tolerating what you know you shouldn't tolerate? Are you waiting until it happens to you? Because these are the questions we have to raise to ourselves so that we could seriously examine the society we live in and ask ourselves, truthfully speaking, how does change happen? Duha.
Peace and love. Again, and like again and again and again, it happens. The system is being itself, acting like itself, perpetuating injustice that we must not tolerate. Here's a Marine who was trained to kill people, to go around the world, you understand, to non-white nations, to murder non-white people, was trained in the technique of a chokehold, which, of course, they told him that this would kill people. Now, he's saying that he didn't know that it would kill anybody. Just imagine if a black man put a chokehold on a white man in a subway, surely he would be charged, So we can't be quiet about this, This type of thing happens to us over and over and over again by a system that has been violent against us for centuries, that's been unjust to us for centuries, So we call on the best of our people to come forward, to demand that this individual, this trained killer, be charged, And I add that we demand that he don't go to PC, that he go to general population, okay? Some of y'all who've been incarcerated know that PC, is nicknamed Punk City. That's where they put people who are scared to be in general population because they fear that someone will attack them. They put in protective custody. We said demand demand to him that he act like a tough guy and say, no, I don't want to go to Punk City. I want to go to general population. And I know people inside who will go to PC to get somebody, the one that got to get got, who will go to, will tell the administration, look, I owe cigarette money to the local Diablos. They're going to kill me, put me in protective custody. I know people would do that. You understand? To have a conversation with somebody who needs that type of conversation in protective custody. All right. Um, so it is an indication of our culture that when a black man is on the subway being murdered, that people will see that the best thing they can do, you understand, is a form of make a video of it instead of coming to his aid. So this speaks to the same type of devaluation of black life that some of our people have when we go around murdering one another. The same type of devaluation is active when black people will take a video and will not come to the aid of their brother. We say come to the aid of your brother, when your brother is in difficulty. So the same system that keeps people locked up who are innocent, who ain't did nothing, like Imam Jamil and Mumia Abu Jamal, and others, will keep them locked up and keep others like the 40, 50, and 60 years, will let a white racist kill a goat, So we said, no, we can't go for it. We ain't going for the con game this time, People got to raise some hell. The family is demanding that this dude be arrested and locked up. We say, yeah, lock him up and put him in general population. You understand? If he's a tough guy, put him in general population. Black power.
Yes, it's very important that we take action, that we stand up and fight back, because Jordan Neely did not have to be murdered. Right. But all of this is attack on our self-determination. We determine what we need, and what we determine what's right for us. Right. So we deal with our own crisis, and that's just what we have to start looking at, because he won't be the last victim of racist vigilantes or racist hostility. It's all about us organizing. And this is what our political prisoners were doing prior to their incarceration. And even during their incarceration, they participate in the development of their people. Veronta Bowers wrote a letter back to the community in Queensbridge. A number of people received that letter. And in that letter, he was given his honest and his most strongest position as it relates to the mental health crisis. This is Mental Health Awareness Month. Let us commit ourselves more to our own mental health and the mental health of individuals in our community, so that we can start developing and becoming better as a community. And that's something that we have to do on a regular basis, because nobody's going to do it for us. And I think that we have to start waking up, and we have to start letting our children understand that you have to participate in the change you want. Prior to me coming over to our studio here, I witnessed an elder who was very angry, very irritated about what was going on currently, and she did not seem to really be able to deal with it in a professional and a calm manner. She was very subjective, and she expressed her anger to a number of people who got on the bus, in particular the youth. It was like she was totally fed up with the youth and had no patience with them. But anyway, she encountered the wrong youth, or youth who would question her. And he questioned her in a very accurate way. He said, you feel that way, what are you doing? Are you going to rallies? Are you petitioning? And he was very clear about something that had to be done. And I was so proud of that young man. And unfortunately, I didn't get to tell him how proud I was. But he was very committed to taking a stand, a position against anybody who was saying things that he know should be addressed, but he understood that they need to be addressed in a certain way. And I bring that up because I'm a parent, and Abdul Haq Islam is a parent, and there's many of us watching who are parents, and we have to raise our children in that way. If you're going to a rally or protest, bring your child. Let your child know this is how you change your current situation. Regarding political prisoners, you let them know, listen, you have the right to our political prisoners. Our political prisoners made sacrifices for you, and show appreciation by writing to them. Build your own relationship with them. Ask them questions about life. Let them give you their experience, because as they say, experience is hindsight is 2020. So that's experience is 2020. You have a clear understanding of what may happen because you've seen it happen already. And I think that has to be conveyed to the youth. That the youth have to be given a position that they understanding that somebody's giving me the right ammunition to go out there and take a position that's very clear and is beneficial not only to me but for the collective. So we ask that you share this with 10 people, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and let's continue this message. This message of self-determination, this message of accountability. Let this incident, let the tragedy not be worse by being inactive. Support the family by doing your job, by sharing, by attending rallies, protests, or do what you need to do wherever you're at, making sure that people are driven to take action, to take a position, and not simply complaining or saying, "Oh, this happened for this reason," and yelling at your TV if that's going to change it. Because if you love justice, you're gonna fight for it. I was watching a presentation of that was dedicated to Matulu Shakur. It was a fundraiser actually, and they did very well. And in that fundraiser, Matulu actually spoke to people from his home, and he said that love is something that you do not say.
Tell people how they see that.
And I thought that it was very important. Yes, you could go on YouTube and check it out. It should be fundraising for Matulu Shakur. For those of you who are having trouble accessing it, contact me at 347-679-3936, and I'll send you that link. Again, that's 347-679-3936. 347-679-3936. And on that, Matulu is talking about, how love should be expressed. So if we're lovers of justice, then we'll stand up and fight back. We'll do what needs to be done to make sure that justice is secured. My brother Abdul Haq Islam, what does this, how does this latest incident of an innocent black man, unarmed black man, how does that, in your view, bring back incidents of the past, or what past incidents does it bring up?
Well, you said it, and I said it before, that the issue is justice, and we're out here active, and sometimes we like to fight, and we fight about, dumb stuff that don't make no sense, little petty stuff, somebody look at you, somebody bump into you, almost got into a situation because I accidentally bumped into somebody. So, so things like that, are not worth, the energy, the confusion, so we got to be conscious of justice, and the system has got extremely rich, off of injustice to black people, violence against black people. So, when we talk about fighting, that has to be in the vein of being active.
Yeah, but when I was bringing up a whole issue about Jordan Neely and how that relates to past incidents, I'm thinking about that vigilante Bernard Getz when he shot those brothers, right? And he wasn't charged, from my understanding. I wasn't as active politically as I am now.
And this Penny, the guy's last name is Penny. This is the white expression of the white man feeling he has a right to be violent against black people and get away with it, and the system allows them to get away with it. And that has been the history that we have experienced here in America. White folks being violent, thinking they have a right to be violent against black people, and the system letting them go. So we have to be active. This is something we need to fight. We need to stand up. And like I said, this relates to the phenomenon of them locking up our people, those who have seen a need for black people to have some self-defense, who stood up for us in self-defense, and therefore they are in prison 30, 40, 50, and 60 years, So, we're clear on the relationships, and on the type of thinking, the type of mentality, and the type of action that is necessary. We just can't sit back and lay down on our dead behinds and think that something is going to materialize out of that. The strategy of doing nothing is going to always produce nothing. So we got to be active. Be conscious of justice. Loving ourselves. Being just to ourselves. And that whole and that relates to coming against justice perpetuated against us by others and by races, and so this is all part of our freedom struggle. This all relates to the release of political prisoners, those who stood up for us in our self-defense, and when incidents like this happen, don't just sit there and take a picture of it, but help your brother and sister.
Absolutely, we got to get involved and be active like our political prisoners are, and I think that that's very important that we write up to our political prisoners. And so tomorrow at in Queensbridge and Jacob Reese Community Center, Transform America is going to be having a workshop, but that's going to be included into their community group grieving support group session, and they'll be writing to a political prisoner. This one political prisoner they'll be writing to will be a response to the letter that he wrote to the community. His name Veronta Bowers, and he's been incarcerated for close to 50 years. See, we can't forget our political prisoners, because once we do that, once we don't write our political prisoners and advocate for their release, and because they are freedom fighters, then we say that we are on the side of those who incarcerated them. We're actually saying that they are terrorists and criminals and deserve to get what they got receiving. So that's why we have to stand up and fight back.
And a footnote, Veronza is a brother who dealt with, mental health issues. So if a brother or sister was in a crisis, we support all our political, but Veronza in particular is a brother who dealt with those issues of relieving the stress.
And continues to deal with them.
Yeah, that's what he deals with. Don't be putting no chokehold on nobody. That we have a loving method. You understand, of dealing with these type of crises and occurrences.
Yes, because we know our people, right? We live amongst each other.
Right.
Like we live in the same community where we see somebody acting a certain way. The community knows this person and knows that they're not going to take this person seriously, because they know what the person is going through. So we know our people. We know how to deal with them. We know that we don't just, if somebody's having a moment where they are outraged, we don't match that outrage by being more outraged.
Right.
We match that outrage but with being calm, because we study our people on a regular basis. So people who are coming outside our community, they think they know what's best for us. See, and that's another attack on our self-determination. You want to come help us, you ask us, how can you help? You don't say this is what you need to happen or to be done. And then from that point, you decide that, okay, I did what I thought I should do because I don't think that you know what you should do. And it has to be that communication. We have to demand it, right? And we demand it by our actions. That's why, when we have to fight for our political prisoners, when they're coming up for parole, we got to make sure that we write the parole board and let the parole board know that this individual is welcome back into the community, that we have a place for that freedom fighter, that individual who's currently incarcerated, that our community actually needs that person back with us, because we got a number of problems that we have to address as a people, and we need all the help we can get. So our political prisoners, they're just rotting away in prison. They need to be with us so we can deal with mental health, so we can deal with senseless violence, so we can deal with the lack of affordable housing, so we can deal with food deserts, a number of problems a number of problems that the minds of our political prisoners can be right with us and we can resolve together in an organized manner. So it's like when we look at Bernard Getz and look at that incident and look at this latest incident with our brother Jordan Neely being murdered by a racist vigilante, we had asked ourselves, enough is enough. And I really am proud of those people who are standing up and fighting back. And I'm understanding that a couple of people were actually arrested. So these are current political prisoners. So now you add on to the walls here. Yeah. These ones, whether they incarcerated for a day, a week, or they have a time to come back and face the mercy of a judge, they are political prisoners momentarily. And this is how we need to look at their status as political prisoners, right, for the time that they're being held by the state, and our political prisoners who are on this wall, who are currently incarcerated and are waiting for their day to come home. And we have to make that possible. We have to do that by being organized, by advocating for their release. Because we say it here, and we said thanks to former political prisoners, Sundiata Acoli, that the state don't free political prisoners, the people do. Mm-hmm. How do we do that? We do that by bringing our political prisoners to our community, letting our political prisoners know this is what's going on in our community, right into our political prisoners. Once you write that letter, your relationship with that political prisoner take on a life as its own. Now, you decide how far you're going to go with that particular work. You decide, should this person come home? And if the answer is yes, then you're going to make the next decision. What can you do? Now you start organizing people or organizing with people. And then you decide that you're going to be the voice of this political prisoner wherever you're at. See, we attack, if you're on the northeast side of the planet, or you're on the northwest side of the planet, or the southwest or the southeast, whatever your geographic is, you do what you can from there. And then, we attack this situation or all fronts so that it doesn't look at like one person or an extremely small group of people is advocating for the release, but it's a number of people on behalf of a greater number. This is what needs to be portrayed, because this is going to bring that awareness to the state that, okay, listen, if we are supposed to be who we say we are, and the taxpayers are telling us what to do, and we're not listening to them, then there's some repercussions that come out of that. Because the state individual who are in positions to deny release of our political prisoners, they are thinking individualistically. They're thinking about their career and moving forward. And now when we say, okay, this person was in a position to do something right and chose not to, this person can't represent the interests of a people. This person is not of integrity. This person is questionable. And therefore, this person cannot be in a position to make decisions on our behalf. So, brother, what power do organized people have regarding the release of our political prisoners?
When people come together, organize, and do things in the scientific method, we really multiply our power. One person can come out and holler and scream and attract a couple of people, but when you come together and organize, you come with a plan, and we sit down, and we study scholarly works. We use psychology. We employ that which we know about human nature. And as a mass of the people, often the masses of the people have brought a system to its needs. So we got to be aware of that historical reality, to give us the self-confidence that indeed we can win and we will win.
Yes, and organized people can make anything happen. Right. But to be organized doesn't mean that you just show up and that's it. You actually have to do something intellectually, make a contribution intellectually. use your mind. Think about what you need, what should be done, and think about what you was told should be done. Be patient. Be patient with yourself. Be patient with the people who are putting forth that effort to organize people, and understand that they're not getting paid for it, that they are making a contribution not only of their time but their finances as well, because it's not inexpensive to organize people. You got to have a place, you got to have some food, you got to have some paperwork so you can document what's going on, and you got to have us create some leaflets so people can be further informed, and you can accelerate that momentum that you establish wherever you're at. And I think that, people need to understand that what goes on to organizing people, that it's not something that just happens extremely easy. It's something that requires some serious work, some dedication, but it's worth it. Our children are worth it. Our loved ones are worth it. Do you want your child being the next victim of a racist vigilante? Because your child is in a situation that somebody feels that he or she is a threat to them, and they at any moment can execute their force on your loved one. That's a very disturbing image in your head. And that image of our brother's life being choked out, his dreams being choked out, should be disturbing to us. But it should put us in a position where enough is enough, where I'm not going to commit myself or my time to things that are not necessarily beneficial to us as a community, as a collective. I'm in fact going to come with others that feel like we have to come together for change. Some people get frustrated because they say that a certain group of people do that to themselves. We got to challenge those ideas. Me, my brother Abdul Haq, we're part of the NEPPC. We produce this podcast, and if you think that there's people not doing anything for a just cause, then you have a reference here. And many people who watch this episode, if you happen to be in Queensbridge, you'll see me in uniform in Queensbridge. You have the opportunity to talk to me, so you know that I'm bringing the idea to the people. I'm not just creating a podcast and trying to get more views. I'm actually in the community talking to people, because this message needs to be given to them. So my closing remarks is that continue fighting wherever you at, educate those around you, and inspire them, encourage them to fight. Let them know that somebody made a sacrifice for you, so you have to make a sacrifice for others. Look at your child and ask yourself the question: what world do you want your child or your children to live in? The brother Abdul Haq Islam, your closing remarks.
Yeah, I would say, in a situation where, a person might be going through a crisis, you might be surprised at the power of a smile, or some friendly words, or some kind words, So in that situation, if any of you brothers and sisters out there encounter a situation like that, try that. Talk to the person. Some friendly words. I've seen it work. I've tried it, and I've been in situations which could have went to some mounting hostility, but just because of a smile, or some friendship, you understand, the whole situation gets turned around. And don't let in the hood, don't let no racists attack no black people. I mean, I can just, like in the heart of Bed-Stuy. It's like in the heart of Bed-Stuy, allowing some racists to jump on some black people. Don't let that go down, okay? And come to the aid, help your brothers and sisters, and come to the aid and support our political prisoners. What's it called? Free them all.
What's the call?
Free them all.
What's the call?
Free them all.
What's the call?
Free them all.
What's the